What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this week I want to talk about my July DLC predictions for Predator Hunting Grounds. And this is going to be a pretty easy one. I think you're going to probably hear me just rant a lot about maps. And really, if you've been watching the channel, have been with me for a while, you'll know that I've had opinions, obviously, just like anybody does, on the Dutch DLC, on the Samurai DLC, the Samurai Predator DLC. All right, we've gotten those out of the way. Look, at this point, this game is dying. This game is going straight down the tube. There's really no other way you can say it. This game needs maps. That needs to be the free DLC for this month. Now, why do I say free? Because they would be out of their minds, if this was paid DLC, okay? You cannot have maps locked behind paid DLC. That's just the worst idea humanly possible. Look, again, I've had opinions. The Dutch DLC, I think, did what it needed to do at the time. The Predator DLC, the Samurai Predator, did what it needed to do. Also having, by the way, the patch that brought in the Elder Predator, all that kind of stuff, I guess technically update, right? The one that got it to level 150. What I would hope, my dream scenario, is that we get another one of those at some point in July, and they tell us, okay, we're going to have an update, and it comes with 2 new maps, or at least 1. Maybe it comes with perks, stuff like that. And then that way, the DLC can be just, I don't even know, can just be very random things. But at this point, I don't know, you've already set the stage with what DLCs are like, right? Pretty much the free DLC is next to nothing, okay? Don't expect much from the free DLC. And the paid DLC, we've gotten, obviously, a fire team member, and we've gotten a Predator, which is the only 2 things you could really give us in that scope, right? As of right now, what else can you really give us in terms of DLC? I think, in terms of free DLC, you need to give us the map. I think gear, I think perks, I think all of that needs to be free DLC this month, / adding it in with some sort of update. I don't think you need to increase the level again. I think you're probably pretty set there for a while. Honestly, people did obviously get to level 150 within like 2, 3, 4 days of the announcement. Obviously, you can just play with friends and really get there, a whole lot faster than playing it online. I get it, but I think I've seen like that Bloodthirsty Lord that you guys want me to collaborate with. That he never got back to me. He seems like a really great guy, but I see even him. I believe his channel is entirely Predator Hunting Grounds, right? I don't even think he's even 150. I think he's like 140. 145. So even diehard Predator fan, like people that have helped support this game, him, that have helped support this game I did it many months before the game came out. We're not even at 150 yet. So I don't think we need a level raise anymore. I don't think we need stuff like that. Maybe new weapons, new stuff like that. The thing that I'm struggling with, I understand this is a predictions video. I haven't really given you many predictions. I guess the map needs to either be a free update or needs to be that free DLC for the month. The paid DLC, I really actually don't know, because can you justify giving us perks? Can you justify giving us gear? Can you justify giving us weapons that we have to pay for? Now, technically, they did that with Dutch, right? Dutch came out, he came with the hammerhead gun, and he came with the knife, and then both of those became free like 2-3 weeks later, or however long it was. So, but that was mainly for Dutch. Like, you pay, really, as I've said numerous times, you paid for Arnold's voice for that DLC. I paid $7 for Arnold, to hear Arnold's voice be very poorly acted, in my opinion, for like 6-7 different phrases. That's why I paid $7. The Predator, the Samurai Predator, I think was a little bit more worth the money. But what do you do now? What do you do for $5, $6, $7 extra dollars? Do you keep giving us Predators? I feel like that's another thing. That's a tricky thing. I actually may make an entire video just on that. The thing that's tough about this game is it's not like Dead by Daylight. And you could say, okay, that literally came out of nowhere. Well, Dead by Daylight, as you know, has been around for a long time. I believe it celebrated its 4-year anniversary back in May, so it's on year 5. And they have, right, when they have DLCs, it comes with a killer, it comes with normally a new map, and it comes with a survivor, okay? And that's what they have. But because the killers are all different, and because they each add something so new to the game, there is a reason to play as the survivor, because you're really experiencing something brand new as the survivor, just like the killer, right? If you're playing as a brand like Pyramid Head just came out, you're experiencing a brand new thing if you play as him. But if you play against him, you're also experiencing a brand new thing, because firstly, you're on a new map. You can maybe play as a new person. You can have new perks that they give you, or new things that you can buy, all this different stuff. But it's an entirely entirely new thing. With Predator, giving us new Predators is different because it actually breaks the game. That's what I talked about in the Samurai Predator DLC thoughts, where it's like, it's great, I like the Samurai Predator, but it kind of, again, firstly, playing as it, him, her, whatever you want to call it, I think illustrates the weaknesses of this game. I think really highlight the weaknesses. And another thing is, and talk about breaking the game, it breaks the game in terms of loading into it. Nobody in their right mind wants to play as the fire team. Why? Why would you do that when you can play as the Berserker and almost be guaranteed to win? Why would you do that when you can play as the Elder Predator, which is kind of like a gloating, like, hey, I got to level 150? Why would you do it instead of playing the Samurai Predator, right? A brand new Predator. Why would you play as the fire team? You can't see them. They have no, even Arnold or Dutch, has no personality. It's not worth, and the fire team flat out isn't fun. Now, I saw people give suggestions, and maybe, you know what, maybe that is what we can do in the next video. Talk about how to make the fire team fun. How to make the fire team fun again, you know what I mean? Take that kind of slogan into that approach, because in all honesty, I don't really think you can add more Predators right now. Now, eventually, if the game is meant to last a long time, can you add more Predators? Yes, I think you can, but not right now. Not right now. Right now, they need to fix the core fundamentals of this game, which is it's not fun. It's not fun. You need to switch up the objectives. You need to switch up the maps. There's nothing you can do about the AI, okay? The AI is brain dead. We all know it. You got to leave them alone. There's really not much you can do about the AI, so just leave it. But in terms of the objectives and stuff like that, again, you can create clever objectives. Now, again, you're always just holding square and you're always just looking at something. Yeah, that is going to be boring. That is going to be repetitive, but you can change objectives up. You can have them do different things. You can, again, make the game more interesting. Remember all the way back in the day, we said, hey, why don't you have it where you call the chopper, but then you have to go to the chopper? Like the chopper is at the other half of the map, so you have to actually traverse, makes it harder. And it just small things, very small things. I don't even think that's a big thing. It really isn't. To just change things up in this game. The game needs a really big change. And, the more I talk about it, the more I'm what I think is actually happening. And I'm sorry to those, by the way, that love this game. I loved it. I really feel like it's firstly the exact same thing that happened with Friday the 13th with me, where I supported the game going in. In fact, with Predator, I overloaded it, right? I did so many things. But I think I was the promoter of this game. I don't know what Bloodthirsty Lord was doing before, but, I think I was really, really supporting this game before it came out for many, many, many months, okay? And then when the game came out, I played it. I probably played it too much. I played it for hours and hours on end. I played it for 2 weeks straight. I didn't play anything else besides this game. I moved states. New games came out. Obviously, with the channel, if you guys see the channel, I cover so many different things. So it just kind of got away from me. And then after that, I really started just focusing on the weaknesses. I've been focusing on the weaknesses of this game. And it's sad because, the game has a lot of problems. And yeah, I knew that back then. I even said, hey, if you can get through the problems, it's a decent game. This part's good, this part's bad. But the more I'm talking about it, the more I really do think it's kind of becoming a lost cause, where this isn't Dead by Daylight. This isn't a game that's meant to last for 3-4 years. And that sucks because I want it to. I think that games like this have the potential to last actually for a while. And instead of having a game like Anthem or Destiny or whatever, instead of having those games last for 5-6 years when I think a sequel would just have been better, I would prefer games like this. Why can't this game last for that long? Again, Dead by Daylight, I think, does it perfect, maybe not perfectly, but as good as you can do it for the genre that we're in, right? To have a game like Dead by Daylight last as long as it has, and just continue to grow and expand is miraculous. It's insane. And I think more games like Friday the 13th, like Predator, could do that. Now, the problem is, IllFonic, they move around. Honestly, they'll probably come up with a brand new game in another 2-3 years. We'll have a brand new game. Maybe it's a Michael Myers game. Maybe it's some other just random killer game, a licensed game. But that's what they do, and I think sadly, we kind of have to accept that. Now, I know this became a rant. I'm sorry about that. But maps are necessary. We need new things for this DLC. But all the things I'm talking about really should be free. So in terms of paid DLC, in terms of what I'd be willing to give them money for in July's DLC, I don't really know. Again, I don't want another Predator. I don't think that would be good. Do you go back to a fire team? Do you give us a brand new fire team? Maybe, but it's another license thing. I don't want to spend $7 for a fire team member that I can't even see, that I'm playing in first person, so I can't even see the freaking fire team. I don't want to pay $7 for that again. I really, really don't. And honestly, adding a fire team, I really don't think is going to fix the issue that you need to do stuff with the fire team. The fire team needs to become, again, fun to play again. So we'll have to see what happens with the July DLC. But the good news is, in this video, I honestly feel like I talked myself into 2 or 3 different topics. So we'll be having more Predator videos over the next little while. Obviously, when they announce the July DLC, I'll react to it. I'll give my impressions of it. And then when the DLC comes out, I'll play it. I live stream the Samurai Predator, so I'll live stream whatever the new thing is, and then I'll make a video on it as well. Okay, so like I've always said, more Predator videos. I'm going to continue to support Predator in terms of video making for as long as the game gives me reason to, as long as there's things to talk about with this game, as long as the game is still alive. I do want to support it in the way of discussing it. Maybe not actually support, because I do criticize it a lot, but I do want to talk about it. Okay, so as always, if you guys want to see something from me, from Predator, definitely let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I think I talked myself into a couple new videos we'll do next week, maybe one a week or so. So definitely more stuff coming, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, have that bell icon turned on so you know when these Predator videos go up, and I will see you all on the next one.